Hello and welcome to my channel, From Profession to Passion, with me, Vicky Mittman. The purpose of this channel is to inform and inspire professionals to live their careers on their terms. Whilst the traditional route in many professions may work well for some, it isn't for everyone, and there are different ways of doing things. On this channel, I'll be sharing my own story of how I combined my profession in law with my passion for coaching and mentoring, and I'll be interviewing other professionals who've developed their own side hustles, changed career directions altogether, or found some other way to involve their passions in their professional lives. I'm really excited today to be joined by Jane James, who I've known in the franchise industry for many years. Jane is the founder of Little Voices, which is a fantastic organisation. But that's not where it started for Jane. And I'd love for you to share your story a little bit with us, Jane, just the story from your journey from teaching all the way through to owning Little Voices today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Vicky. It's been a long time that we've known each other, so this is lovely. My story, I suppose. I did a music degree at Sheffield University, a very traditional music degree at a red brick Russell Group university. Always loved to perform. Took a year out, worked in my father's business for a year, did some marathon running and charity work and different things, and then went to do my master's degree in opera and performance studies at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama in Glasgow. It's now the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, of course. And following that, I felt that I moved back home to Blackburn, Lancashire, the Northwest, my hometown, after that master's degree of a couple of years, and started to teach, because that was a very natural progression for someone who performed, that didn't want to work in a bar or a restaurant, but create a steady income alongside being a performer. And I worked in lots of schools and for lots of organisations, music schools, lots of one-to-one work at home, working in independent schools, the state sector, a whole range really, boarding schools, teaching singing, teaching performing arts. Absolutely loved it. The children gave me so much joy. They taught me so much about myself. It wasn't really about teaching them and imprinting stuff on them. It was about drawing out the best of them and helping them to find themselves. And I created quite a safe space for them to do that. Loved it. Anyway, went on but speed forward a little bit, bought a house, got engaged, got married. Unfortunately, my husband left when I was 6 months pregnant, and we had quite a split. And then my daughter came along and I went straight back into teaching immediately to pay the mortgage and keep the bills coming in. And it was that following summer that she was born that I sat with a friend around a coffee table in Blackburn, in the town centre, next to Marks and Spencer's, and had a chat about how we could impact children's lives through drama and singing, and bring her skills as a drama teacher and my skills as a singing teacher and music together. And that's what we did. And 3 weeks later, we started something called Little Voices, which today is now a national brand across the UK and is franchised. So obviously that didn't happen overnight. And it certainly wasn't the intention that we would become a franchise. But from that very first chat, it was about the child. It was about them being in a safe, creatively safe space to be themselves. A very small class. So there's only 8 children in a class, 10 children maximum. Very much about individual attention, no one getting lost at the back in a big group. And let's really do what education is about and draw out the best of those children. And we've had some children that have gone on to be on the West End stage and tour the world with bands. And we've got other children who are dentists, doctors, hairdressers, beauticians, all sorts of careers. And it's about confidence for life for us through the performing arts.
Oh, I love that. I love that confidence for life. I think that's one of the things that you and I really resonate with, that idea of developing that from a young age and really helping people to nurture that, because it's such an important aspect of life, isn't it? And something that I love through my coaching work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think one thing that you said really struck a chord with me. You said that, you progressed into teaching because it was sort of the natural next step from the training and the learning and the masters that you'd done. And I think a lot of people probably feel that way, that, because they've done this learning, they're being funneled into a certain direction. And even though they can enjoy that, but that might not be all of it. Did you find it difficult when you said, actually, whilst I love that teaching side and it would be probably quite safe to stay doing what I'm doing, when you thought, actually, I want to do something more with this, what sort of
Yeah.
feelings did you have about that process, about that jump?
Yeah, I think there was two jumps actually, even if I track back. So yes, from teacher to business owner to growing a franchise is a massive jump. Um, was probably more natural a jump for me than the one previously, which was from performer to actually preferring teaching. And I think that's wherever you are now and wherever you want to go to, it's that. And it's a mindset thing, it's an environmental thing, it's what you've told everybody else you do, what you were destined to do, so for instance, I work with a lot of teachers now. I work with hundreds of teachers across the country, and they've always thought that they were going to teach for the rest of their lives. That was the safety of the career, it's what they trained to do, like me training to be a performer initially. And then it's that time of thinking, oh, actually, I prefer something else, or my mind is going somewhere else, or I'm looking at another opportunity. And how dare I do that? Can I do that? Is it possible? Who am I letting down? Am I letting myself down? Am I taking too big of a risk? It's all of that, isn't it? It's kind of a really grayish area. So yeah, I would say I've had two jumps, and I certainly work with a lot of teachers now who are coming out of teaching and into running a business, a franchise with us, doing a topic and teaching subject that they love, but actually also running a business with it. And it's a really interesting transition. Have I answered the question properly?
Yeah, you have, and actually, it's naturally gone on to another question for me, which is actually that support. You took what you were skilled in already as a performer and what you'd taught in already to build a business on that. And I think there's probably, in some ways, whilst it's still, the risks of starting your own business, the taking a step away from the comfortable and the known, but you've sort of progressed again quite naturally into something that is something you were passionate about right from the start, and something that you've remained passionate about throughout, and now you're helping others to do that. And I think a lot of people in profession, certainly I found this in law, people really reluctant to step away from something where they've trained, because who knows what's out there. But actually, the franchise model is ideal for people, for teachers who are thinking, actually, I want to change and I want to run my own business, I want some more flexibility and freedom, and there might be people out there to support me with that. And there are so many franchises within the education space where I think they're really attractive to people coming out of traditional teaching, just because it doesn't quite suit them, or it doesn't suit them anymore, or they don't like the way they're going within it, and they want a different opportunity. So that's something that you will do, and no doubt attract loads of teachers to be franchisees with your brand, so provide that support. Is that right?
Absolutely. So there's so much to say on that topic. I would say for teachers specifically, and I think we chatted about this earlier a couple of months ago, it's like being part of a franchise is like the staff room, but a really supportive, friendly, helpful, caring staff room with everyone with the same vision and mission.
Yeah.
So, all of the teachers that I work with are running their own business, they're captain of their own ship, they make the decisions, they have the flexibility, they're in business for themselves, not by themselves, but they're completely supported in a family network of everyone else, like-minded people, doing passionate as me, doing this in their area of the country. So they've got a shared connection and space to be there. And that's brilliant. I think secondly, we've all got transferable skills, masses amounts of them, and it's the only thing stopping you is you.
Yeah.
And actually exploring that potential opportunity. It's really sad. The education system, I would imagine, the a lot of our services, the legal system, it's a bit broken, dare I say that, and sadly making a lot of unhappy, unmotivated, really skilled people, really passionate people disengage with the industry that they've decided to go into. And that makes me really sad, especially in education, because it's our next generation and we're losing great teachers.
Yeah,
Great
and
for
you
me
need
because
engaged teachers, don't
yeah,
you?
great for
Really
me because
passionate people.
yeah, because they come to me and they want to be able to teach the way they want to teach. But they're often a little bit scared of that jump. What if it's an unknown thing? It's going from a safety 9 to 9 job and holiday, okay, yeah, great holidays. But when you break it down, those holidays are eaten up by working and planning and report writing, and you do loads of staff meetings and inset days and parents' evenings. So really, you probably get the same holidays as anyone else in a normal job when you break it down. But working in a business, taking on a business, still doing the teaching, still doing what you love, in a safe space, just look for that possibility. You can take the jump because you've got the skill set.
Yeah,
but very sad for the next generation.
No, I think that's the crucial bit, isn't it? That transferable skills and ability. If you're a bit brave, there are so many options out there for people, and that's why I started this video series, because I wanted people who were stuck in their profession to think there might be something else for me. And that's how I felt. I'm a lawyer. I still am a lawyer today, but when I was in private practice, full time, working for someone else, I kept thinking, but there are all these other things I want to do. Why can't I have a career that does both? And like you say, it didn't fall into place overnight. It's taken a couple of years to figure out how it works best. But now I have two distinct careers that complement each other. And as a coach and mentor, I feel like I've actually become a better lawyer because of those additional skills that I've brought in. But also, as a lawyer for years advising companies, my coaching and mentoring in executive roles has been, heavily shaped by what I've come across with advising directors as a lawyer for 10, 12 years.
Absolutely.
So I think you're so right. Those transferable skills are really essential, but also, just following your passion and doing something that is going to improve the lives of others and also improve your own life. It's just fantastic.
Oh, to come home at the end of the day and know you've made a real difference, an impact. We have an impact all the time on the schools we work with, on the children that come through our doors every day of the week. I suppose we're a little bit different to other organisations in that we don't work weekends, so it is after school hours, in school hours, providing that gap to schools, because the performing arts and drama and music isn't valued by the curriculum. It's not prevalent. And we can go in and deliver that, breadth of education within a school, and add those extracurricular elements, or cover that PPA time within a school and do after school activities and give children something that's going to set them up for life. Going to a job interview, presenting something at work, going to a Saturday job interview, being able to just give eye contact, hold themselves. All of that comes through drama and singing, and we give all those skills and we're able to teach the way we want to teach. There's no restriction.
And it's so crucial, those skills. I remember doing speech and drama when I was at school. I remember doing singing recitals, and I still do now, and I still love to sing. But actually, it wasn't geography and history and maths that taught me how to present to an audience of people on, what to expect in your franchise agreement, or to talk to an audience about building resilience and confidence. A lot of that came from my early years of speech and drama and singing, which I loved.
Absolutely. I mean, it's massively about the life skills for children. So being able to do that, coming home at night and thinking, I've done a really good job. And actually, for my teachers, I'm in control of my own destiny. I can make this as big or as small as I want to. I can work 1 day a week, 5 days a week, have multiple tutors working for me, and build a team. The flexibility, the scope to build something around you and your family is amazing.
Yeah. And I think that's going to speak to a lot of people watching this. And tell me, I mean, you've already given some great advice about transferable skills, but is there anything else you'd say either to your younger self or to someone who says today to you, I'm not sure how I feel about it, stepping away from a profession? What advice would you give?
I think you have to be, I once learnt this phrase, ask a better question of yourself and you'll get a better answer. And so rather, it's just questioning, well, why? Well, why am I saying that to myself? Well, why is that not a possibility? Why can't I just pick up that phone and have that one baby step conversation that might open up another avenue? What's stopping me? It's it's a bit of a game with yourself. It's a journaling game. It's asking better questions of yourself, and actually then better answers and better solutions will come.
I
There
love
always is one. There
that.
always is one.
I love that. And actually, because coaching is all about asking questions to draw out what's inside, it's actually a bit like self-coaching, asking yourself that question, which I love. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Jane, that's been fantastic. Thank you so, so much for sharing that with us. And if anyone is interested in Little Voices, or if they just want to pick up the phone to you and ask a few questions about your journey, or whether you'd be able to support them, how's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, and I would say, please don't worry about it being a Little Voices conversation. Like, I'm very supportive across all of children's activities, across the franchising industry. I'm someone who wants to give, and I'm someone who thinks about paying it forward all the time, because other people have done that for me. And I'm very happy to have an initial conversation with anybody thinking about anything. But yeah, from a Little Voices point of view, of course, we've got a website, littlevoices.org.uk. There's tutor opportunities and franchise opportunities on there. It just starts with picking up the phone and being brave. Just chat to someone, ask a question of them, and you never know where that can lead, or they can introduce you to. Just take that step. We're across all the social media. As you will have seen, Vicky, we've just won a massive national award within our network.
Love that. Love it.
I can't believe that we were up on that stage with all those huge household named big franchise brands. Incredible that our franchisee won that award. And to hear her talking about something I developed 15 years ago around a coffee table on that kind of platform means more to me than anything. So yeah, you'll find us all over social media, and I'd love to chat to anyone that wants some help.
Oh, super, Jane. Thank you. And I will tag you both on LinkedIn and Facebook when I put this video out. So thank you so much, Jane, for joining me. It's been a real pleasure.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it's provided some food for thought. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe below and feel free to like or comment. I'd love to know what you think. If you're interested in hearing more about this, please join my Facebook community, From Profession to Passion with Vicky Mittman. I'll see you next time.